How's it going, YouTube? It's your boy Ron. Welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Pokemon Leaf Green. In the last episode, we cleared Pokemon Tower, we saved Mr. Fuji, and we got the Poke Fleet. We were able to explore a little bit more of Kanto, and we also polished up our team to get it to more where we want it to be as of right now. But of course, today's episode, the main focus is going to be finally going ahead and tackling on Erika, Celadon Gym Leader, to grab badge number 4. Let's go ahead and enter a gym. But before we do, there is this funny old man who is staring at the gym sign. Oddly enough, not even technically a window, but of course, if we speak with him, this gym is great. It's full of women. Yeah, this guy is a creep. So let's go ahead and just head in because we don't need to hear all that creepiness. Alright, oh, Blue's already, yeah, Blue, of course, has already been here. So in Celadon Gym, there are a lot of trainers here, more than we've seen already in the past. There's like, what, 3, 6, 7, 8, like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah, about 7 or 8 trainers here. So there's obviously going to be a lot. And since, of course, the main focus of this gym is going to be grass types, there's no surprise that the only poke that we, of course, have that'll actually be effective against all of them is none other than our recent recruit, 3 Beaks. Not gonna lie, since he's gonna be taking most of the action, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets at least a couple level ups from this. I'm realistically thinking up to level 33, 34, just because of a lot of the trainers here, and Erika's pokes are really gonna be all 3 weak to 3 Beaks. So I'll go ahead and say that that's probably what we're gonna be seeing. He's gonna be pretty much the star of the episode today, because every lady here is gonna be a grass type user of some sort. I did kind of want to use my other pokes, but it's just, I'm not gonna lie, it's just not really viable. Like, of course, Venusaur's just equaled out with them, and obviously grass on grass won't really be too much, so it's just gonna be a lot of time stalling. Dang, I can't speak. Jolt won't exactly be a good help either. Doesn't really have any other moves that can help against grass types. As we already know, even Pika couldn't really handle them, so there's no surprise that Jolt isn't exactly going to do the same benefit. Dig Dig is obviously a ground type, so weak, not going to be helpful at all, unfortunately, sorry to say. And our recent recruit Shuriken is not going to be helpful either, because of course, like Dig Dig, water types do not handle well against grass types. We already seen that encounter as well. And plus, he's still very new to the team, so of course, being very low leveled, can't exactly rely on him too much. Oh, I just like how the screen faded over. Okay. While I get through a lot of these trainer battles, I will just go ahead and explain a little bit of what today's episode is really going to be. There isn't too much I can really elaborate on, I will be honest. Today really is just meant to go ahead and tackle on Erika. So that's pretty much the majority of today's episode. I will go ahead and elaborate a little bit more of what we're going to be doing from here on towards the end, just because technically speaking, if you don't want to go by how what's the word? If you don't want to go by the conventional means of how you're supposed to go through Kanto, you technically can do the 5th or the 6th gym next. The levels between both trainers' Pokemon are going to be relatively within the same limit and pretty equal to each other. So it doesn't really matter who you go against. If we do want to keep things chronological, then of course that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to keep things pretty the order that you're meant to do them, especially how it was done in the anime. We're going to be heading over to Fuschia City next. That's where the next destination for our gym battle will be after we, of course, clear Erika. And we will be faced with our 5th gym leader pretty soon. I will say it won't be as much of a filler in between when we got our 3rd gym badge as of right now. That was a lot of episodes in between, of course, in terms of doing the story and just getting a lot of our pokes to higher levels and getting new teammates. It will be a little bit less, I will be honest. There might be just 1 or 2 filler episodes before we head over. And then I will say once we should clear Gym 5, there is one big part of the story arc that has to be completed, and that is in regards to Team Rocket. So that'll be next that we have to take care of. And then we'll head over to the next 6th gym badge, and then from there on out, we'll just take things one step at a time as we go there. I won't go too far ahead. That is technically the part of the game where I will say that tends to be what your decision will be best inclined to do. Because in that same topic, I will say from this point onward, after we get our 4th badge, that's when I will say the level gap between not necessarily the trainers, more the gym leaders as opposed to your own Pokemon, depending on the kind of team you have, whether it's as stacked as mine is right now, or if you're just training a few pokes here and there. the level gap might be a bit more significant. So that's when I will say training tends to be very favorable if you're able to do so. I will say items like the Versus Seeker are going to be very helpful if you're able to get it, if you're able to go ahead and take advantage of it as often as you can after this gym. Because that's when you'll notice, and that's when we will see, I will see this too, after we clear this gym, once we start heading over to the next few gyms, I will say the levels will probably be, if we're lucky, equal, but in all honesty, maybe a few levels lower. It's just something that I guess is meant to increase the difficulty of the game. Just because a lot more mechanics have been polished and are more balanced than compared to the first one, and also the AI is better. Because I will say AI in the first gen was pretty horrible from gym leaders. They would tend to use moves that are not even damaging moves. So a lot of the times you're just sitting there wondering why he or she could have just easily finished me off. Why didn't they? Or, you know, they use moves at the inappropriate time, and you're just wondering, like, why? Like, why did they program it this way? I thought it was meant to be hard, but of course that's not what we're focusing on. We're just focusing on our own journey and getting through. And see, even battling all the trainers, we managed to get to level 34. Still no new moves yet. Although I'll be honest, even Dojo can't even really learn that many moves upon leveling up, so that's no shock. That tends to be the curse with a bunch of Generation 3 pokes in this game, so that's not a big deal. Okay. I'm gonna be upset bringing this up, but it is something I should address in the meantime while I go ahead and make my way over to the Pokemon Center and heal up. Very close to the end of the episode, you guys may recall I was mentioning why I was picking Jolteon as one of my pokes. I'm sure if you guys saw that section, you realize that I was about to mention why I chose Jolt out of the other three. The reason I did pick Jolteon while I go ahead is, I'll go ahead and explain in a second. And now you're gonna figure out why. Now we're gonna figure out why a whole episode later why I chose that case. This kind of separation makes more sense before the release of the other new Eevees and by the new evolutions, and by new ones I mean after Espeon and Umbreon. So this makes more sense now than it did. This makes more sense then than it did now. But all three evolutions, I'm excluding Umbreon and Espeon for now, since they're technically not in this game. You can't get them in this game because Night and Day just wasn't a thing. So technically they don't exist in this game. So I'm just gonna explain those three. All three were meant to kind of balance each other out in terms of like moves. Not moves. Pretty much stats. So Jolteon, my case is Jolt is a better special attacker and speed. So it's meant to really, of course, like tackle on everyone from the beginning because it's very fast and powerful, but it is fragile defensively. And HP is somewhat mediocre. Let me go ahead and keep things as is. Flareon is honestly the most underwhelming out of the three, especially even to this day. Even though there are a lot of buffs to fire type moves, and of course the physical special split in terms of the moves did help a lot, but it's still very underwhelming in this gen. Flareon was meant to be a physical attacker with some pretty decent special defense, but of course it did lack physical defense and it was pretty slow. It didn't really hold up to HP like Jolt, so that's why that kind of combination, especially being a fire type, was very underwhelming, and most people typically don't pick Flareon unless you like it. That's typically why I always like to avoid it, just because it's not my favorite fire type, and also, you know, stat move wise it's not the greatest. And Vaporeon was close. I do like Vaporeon as a water type. It is a great defense wall, relatively speaking. It isn't fast, but it is meant to, of course, hold up defenses pretty well. It isn't great specially offensive, but it still has some good special to, of course, negate some of the weak hits it can dash out. And its HP stat is one of the best out of all the evolutions, even the newest ones. So that's why Vaporeon is still a good choice, just because it is a pretty well mixed attacker and can hold up some punches relatively well, and HP is high enough to kind of compensate for a lot of the other weak points. But that is why I picked Jolteon. Okay, so now that I finally cleared that out of the way, I know I didn't really need to address it, but of course since I forgot to mention it and it's something I did want to elaborate a little bit more on as my personal preference, I went to go ahead and just say that now. Yes, very late, still new to this, you know, you live and you learn. But enough of that chitter chat. We've defeated all trainers here. Erika is the final block in our 4th gym pursuit. So let's go ahead and speak with her and get battle commenced. Hello, lovely weather, isn't it? Well, it's so pleasant. Oh dear, I must have dozed off. Welcome. My name is Erika. I am the leader of the Celadon Gym. I am a student of the art of flower arranging. My Pokemon are solely of the grass type. Oh, I'm sorry. I had no idea that you wished to challenge me. Very well, but I shall not lose. We'll see about that, because we've been commenced Battle 4. We surely took a good amount of time from a gym, but now we are back, and Erika is our next step. And of course she sends out Victory Bell. She technically has 2 star Pokemon. Victory Bell, in my opinion, doesn't make the most sense just because she never shows it off in the anime. Obviously it is good grass type, so it makes sense why she has it, but I would think it would make sense to keep it at a slightly lower level. She does kind of show Tangela, so that makes sense too, but Tangela's level is very low. Like, it's only level 24. That makes you wonder why. But nonetheless, still her star Pokemon. We still knock it out pretty easily. Having 3 beaks, especially at its level, it helps so much. This gym battle is a lot easier. If we did this earlier, no. This whole episode to this point would have taken this long just to defeat probably 2. No lie. Just gonna keep it as is. I'm sorry, everyone else, you're not gonna get XP. Just 3 beaks is just gonna shine for now. Don't really need to do anything else. It'll just outspeed and crush everything with Aerial Ace. Look at that. Grass types don't exactly always have the greatest physical defense, but when some do, it can handle. But with this, no. Level 35. Can I learn to move now? I don't even know. No? Okay, that's fine. But we defeated Erika. Badge number 4 obtained with ease. Oh, I concede defeat. You are remarkably strong. I must confer on you the Rainbow Badge. Thank you. And the Rainbow Badge will make Pokemon up to level 50 obey. It also allows Pokemon to use Strength in and out of battle, a move we will be needing to take care of pretty soon. And please take this with you. And we received TM19. She never had a chance to use it, but it contains Giga Drain. Half of the damage it inflicts, it's drained to heal your Pokemon. I can't speak. Alright, wonderful. You agree that it's wouldn't you agree that it's a wonderful move? Can't speak again. Alright, but yeah, she never had a chance to use it, but Giga Drain is one of the best healing moves out there. Somewhat average of power, grass type move. I may have to have Sora learn it if it doesn't know it through level up, which I don't remember, so it doesn't really matter. Okay. We are basically done in Celadon City. There is one thing I do want to go ahead and do right before I leave, and there is another significant generation change at the Celadon Market again. So if we head all the way to the roof, there is a little girl that resides there, and she wants some drinks. We already bought these drinks a while back. I just forgot to show it. She will give you 3 TMs for each. She will give you a TM for each drink you give her, which gives you a total of 3 free TMs. In the 3rd gen, they are all very underwhelming, but in the 1st gen, they were one of the best moves TMs you can get. So if you give her a drink, I'll show you right here. So for each TM you receive here, she gives you a lot of the damage having moves. So light screen, so of course that weakens special attacks. So the next drink we'll give her is going to be the Soda Pop. I believe that gives you Reflect. Or is that Safeguard? No, this is Safeguard. So that prevents status moves among Pokemon. And the last drink that we give her, the Lemonade, that gives you Reflect. So that does have the damage of physical moves. So while these moves are great, don't get me wrong, they're not bad moves. It's just for TMs, they don't compare heavily to the 1st gen ones. Because in Gen 1, you were given extremely good ones. The ones I remember, you could get Ice Beam from her as early as that. I think the next one was Tri-Attack, which, yes, Tri-Attack was a TM, and you can get that. The next one, I believe, was either Hornju or Rock Slide. I don't remember. It was one of the good moves, but the fact that you can get 3, like, one of the 3 of the best moves to be considered in the game that early, before Gym 4, and teach it to your Pokemon, that was great. So of course a lot of the TM reshuffles that happen gens later and later and later, of course I've recited a lot of the strong moves, so you know, move tutors or for like battle points to be purchased or purchased in special legitimate ways. That's kind of why, to kind of balance it out so you couldn't just learn overpowering moves very early in the game. Very easy in Gen 1, somewhat easy in Gen 2, and then Gen 3 onward made it pretty difficult for you to learn excellent moves. You can still learn some great moves through other TM and HM methods, but other than those, big generation difference. Okay, so now with me explaining that, I will say, I don't want to say unfortunately, but we are nearing the end. One thing I do want to mention right now, just because I did elaborate on this a little bit earlier in the episode about where we can kind of divert our our adventure. So there are two paths we can take. One that I believe I will go ahead and do off screen, but I will be going ahead and showing later, is if at Celadon City, when you head towards the left onto Route 16 up until Fuschia City, this is the cycling path. So the cycling path, for those, if you remember in the anime, you were only allowed to go through bikes, and then we remember just a bunch of bikers and pretty much the same idea goes here. We're only allowed to traverse through bike, and it is one of the fastest ways to get to Fuschia City. There are a lot of trainers here. I will be battling them, of course, but I do want to get here in means of getting a new teammate, but I won't have time to do that, so I'll go ahead and save that for next time. The path that we will be taking is going ahead and starting to head over back to when we awoke in Snorlax, and that is going to be towards Route 13? Okay, Route 12 to 13 all the way up to Fuschia City, coming in from the right side, or in this case for you guys it's the right side. Again, a lot of trainers there too, so really any path we take is just going to be a lot of trainers that are meant to fill just filler battles, a lot for just XP gains, still necessary for us. There are still two pokes to get. One is still within our reach, but I do want to hold off just a little bit longer, and before I go ahead and grab our penultimate 5th and 6th poke. The next one is going to be in Fuschia City. If it didn't give it away already, it's in the Safari Zone, and that's where we're going to be heading. Obviously, our next destination I already said is Fuschia City, because that is technically the next chronological point in the game. You could go ahead and go to Saffron City and just do Gym 6 if you wanted to. Both poke, pretty much the level gap is pretty much the same, identical, so it doesn't really matter. You're not in a disadvantage with one or the other. But I'm going to keep things chronological and start heading over towards Fuschia City. I could go through the cycling path, but I want to hold off on that for just a quick moment. Everyone's doing good in terms of level ups. Obviously, 3B's just shined through today, and Sora's just been excellent since the beginning. Joel could go a little bit higher, and Shuriken is recent, so of course he needs to get some filler battles in, and Dig is a temporary. Still good, but gonna have to see if I can get the next poke pretty soon, just because it'll be very useful for us to do that. I will go ahead and say that if I did go that way, we would be encountering the other Snorlax. I'm not going to be adding it to our team. Would still like to capture it, but I am going to go ahead and do what I should do and start heading over towards Route 12. What may change and what may change my mind in a moment is if I decide... Let me see. Is the Slipco even open yet? Does it open up? Yeah, it does open. So we could technically do that, but I'm going to skip that for now. I'll wait till after we do Fuschia City. Because I do need to get my levels up, since we're still not ready for the 5th gym in terms of the Pokemon levels. We're still not ready yet. After I defeat a lot of the trainers there and head over towards Cycling Road, I may have to just do a lot of rematches with a lot of trainers off screen just to get their levels up, because we're still nowhere near the level we need. Let me see something real quick before I go. Can I get anything special here? Or I can, but I already have a decent amount of these items, so I'm gonna wait. So, honestly, there isn't too much for me to elaborate on. I did already speak upon a lot of what I want to do for next episode. So I will go ahead and say that a lot of it is going to be done today. Anything here? Oh, I think there's one at Professor Oak's office aids up here too, isn't there? Oh no, it's just this girl. Oh, she gives us a TM, I didn't even realize. What is it, return or something? Yeah, it's return. If you treat a Pokemon good, it'll return your love by working its hardest in battle. Yeah, so the higher the friendship, the higher the base stat of the move is. Better on normal types. Very useful move. May learn it, we'll see how that turns out. I should have switched, but it's okay. I'll just let I'll let Shuriken take some of the XP from the beginning. Level 22, dang. At least Jolt now has a thunder move. Or, see, I keep doing it again. It has a thunder move. I meant to say electric type move. Okay, so just gonna let Jolt take care of these. I'm glad Shuriken does have a water type move, but we're gonna be seeing a decent amount of water trainers here, so obviously it's not gonna be too much to our precaution. It's no big surprise there. I just want to clear part of this out, at least until we get to the fishing house. We still don't have surf yet, so I can't really make my way over. And of course, a lot of the trainers here are gonna be patient. Fishing is a waiting game. Okay, true, but I really don't care. I really would like a Psychic type, but I can't get that yet. I mean, I technically can get that now. Don't get me wrong. I will have to... That brought up a good point. I will be needing to get a Psychic type, and I will have to do it before Gym 5, because that'll be extremely helpful. But I will go ahead and do that closer to when we get to Fuschia City. I'm not going to be doing that now. I'd rather get some level ups first, because it would just be a waste if I started doing that right off the bat. Not that it'd be a waste, but I do want to hold off for just a little bit longer like I did with Jolt. I do have my reasoning for that. Okay. I believe there should be one more trainer, but other than that, if not, then at least... Okay, so there's one more. I think that should be one more. The Fishing Fool versus Pokemon... What? What kind of... Oh, level 27 gold. I don't even think Shuriken can really do anything, honestly. Can it even do anything? Oh, it confused it. Come on, I can take this battle. Hurt itself. Come on. No, it flailed. No, I can do it. Oh, no. Okay, no, I'm not gonna risk it. I want some XP on. That probably could have killed. Alright, I'll just give Shuriken some decent XP to heal up on, and then after that, that's it. That'll be it for today. Because we should be making over our way to where the connecting point from Route 12 onto Vermilion City should be, and then that should be it for... Oh, there's this guy. Oh, there's two. Okay, there's two more. You know what? After this battle, I'm just gonna stop it because obviously you guys can already tell my memory is not that great. For those who probably do remember it, you're probably just like, he does realize there's a lot more trains than he's thinking, right? And then yes, there is. Just wasn't smart enough to know because, like I say, guys, I always like to tell you guys, no 300 IQ, no big brain plays. Not yet, unfortunately. Later, yes, but not now. Okay. Pretty sure there is more. Oh no, this is the ending point. There is a double battle there, but I'll go ahead and stop it here because that'll be a great stopping point for today. So guys, thank you so much for watching today's video. Hope you enjoyed. So just one major recap today is that we battled Erika and grabbed badge number 4. Easy, just because we did a lot of training and a lot of filler battles in between to get ready for her. So that's why it was super simple. 3 weeks was MVP, but to no surprise, flying will always beat grass types. We all know that. So guys, this has been your boy Ron. I will go ahead and tell you next time, we will be going ahead and starting going down towards Route 12. If I decide to, we may head over towards the cycling route, which is for you guys this way. We may start heading over there. Regardless, the main goal will be starting to head over to Fuschia City. We still need to grab one more teammate there, and our final teammate should come in sometime in between, but we'll see how that goes. So I'll see you guys next time. Take care.